No more 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Crypto is on the rise, making that dough in the crypto paradigm. Watching it go, buying low, selling high. Riding the wave, I'm here to stay, living in the digital age. No banks, no fees, just decentralized. It's crypto paradise. Ooh. No banks, no fees.
Alrighty, good morning from Paradise Surfers. Hope you guys love the new intro video. Shout out to our boy Angelo, our fantastic video editor who worked on that over the past week or so. We are up in our game here at Crypto Paradise just in time for this bull market. Guys, if you doubted we were in a bull market, if you thought that 123,000 was the top, if you thought ETH was never going to break $4,000 again, well, you need to get your damn head out of your ass because this market is going so much higher. Thank you, Donald Trump. Once again, Trump to the rescue, lighting a fire under this market. Now, it's just speculation. We have not gotten confirmation of this yet, although I do believe it's going to be true. But news just broke that Trump about to sign an executive order which is going to allow average everyday Americans to invest through their 401k into alternative assets such as cryptocurrencies. So yes, your mom, dad, your grandpa will be buying ETH. They will be buying Bitcoin. They will be buying Ripple, sadly enough, through their 401k. This is massive news, and it's not going to stop. The positive momentum is not just going to stop now. It's not going to stop tomorrow. The train is rolling down the tracks. You can either get on, make a lot of money with us this cycle, or you can stay poor. Up to you guys. But anyway, happy to be here. My name's Crypto Amaru. We got Crypto Hitman, the Nostradamus in the house. Yeah, wanted to start with that news. It was shared within our DAO.
We also got Powell here getting ready to turn the money printers on. This is what's about to happen in Q4 2025, and that's going to send everything much higher. Yeah, and you talked about the Trump news that isn't confirmed yet, because on the news feed it's all about Bitcoin and ETH, but the big news is it's all alternative assets, which makes me believe it more, which Bitcoin and ETH fall into, but that also is real estate, that's also real assets, that's private equity, precious metals, which is something that the average Joe could not get a piece of the pie in. I was telling Crypto Amaru before this video a true story. So I worked in an institutional financial firm. DraftKings was becoming a big thing. I was a degenerate gambler. I like fantasy football. I wanted to get in on that. And it's like, oh, oops. Nope, you can't. Number one, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it was a private equity, so there's no way you can get in that unless you're a big dog. The rich get richer. And number two, well, since it's a private equity and it's within the investments that our firm has, you're not allowed to own it. Sorry. You know, that's the way of the world, but things could be changing with this executive order. So we'll like to see what that is. And yeah, I mean, you made another good point, Crypto Amaru. Until they ban gambling, how are they to tell you what you can or can't invest in with your own money? Especially if you've done the due diligence. It's a legal, regulatory compliant business that other wealthy individuals are able to invest in. Why can't I invest in it, even though I have a 9 to 5 or whatever it may be?
That's what it comes down to, democratizing finance. And I think once again, Trump, his instincts have proven correct, right? He has done wonders for the industry of cryptocurrency and blockchain. We know that. But across the board, I mean, you look at this tariff policy, and I know you go on the left-leaning news sites or you turn on CNN or whatever, and it's all, tariffs are bad, doom and gloom. Turns out tariffs are generating like $200 billion a month in additional revenue for the federal government. You say, oh, well, that's a regressive tax, essentially forcing the poor to pay more than the rich, if you look at their share of income. Okay, maybe, but I don't really buy that because I think not all of the tariff costs have been passed on consumers, first and foremost. Secondly, isn't that worth it to try to onboard and onshore, re-onshore some industries? If for a few years, Americans have to pay a little bit extra to import their junk that they buy on Amazon from China, Pay a little bit extra. Maybe first of all, maybe you buy less junk. For all you assholes out there, I drive down the street. Every other house, Amazon package, and we're guilty of it too. I just ordered some on Amazon the other day. But that's not the point. Is people have too much stuff. So maybe you should stop buying so much goddamn stuff. And if you do want to buy a lot of goddamn stuff, maybe you should pay a little tax. Why not? And then maybe they can make my income tax go down, or maybe they'll give you a little dividend, like one of the senators was suggesting. But I'm digressing a bit. My point is this: Trump's instincts have proven correct time and again. And here's another example: democratizing finance, democratizing the capital markets. Why is it that average Joe should be able to invest into a private credit deal or private equity deal or cryptocurrencies or whatever the case may be through their 401k, as long as it's not a scam or fraud and due diligence has been done, et cetera, et cetera. There's some checks and balances on that. I think average Joe should be allowed to invest. Like you said, if you can go to the corner store, nothing stopped me from dropping my entire net worth into scratch off lottery tickets. I don't know if the corner store has enough lottery tickets for me. I'd have to maybe travel to a few different ones. But my point is, if you can do that, if you can waste all of your money gambling, shouldn't you also be able to invest? So Trump, once again, good job, man. Keep pumping our bags, keep pumping these markets. And now we just need Powell to cooperate as well, and we're absolutely off to the races.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing with tariff, everybody had inflation fear, but the last 4 years under the last administration, we had 26% inflation over the course of that 4 years. And right now, since tariffs have happened, what have we seen? Truflation just announced the number today. 1.75% inflation, so under the 2% goal per year, so on target for less than 8% over the next 3.5 years. You have all-time highs for NASDAQ, all-time highs for S&P 500, all-time highs for Dow Jones, all-time highs for Bitcoin. We're working on all-time highs for Ethereum, all-time highs for gold. So to me, it looks like everything is playing out in the opposite of what the fears were. And now you need to, hopefully watch people like us who are telling you to get long in these various assets, giving you entry points and kind of fading you away from the mainstream media that wanted you to sell the low on your 401k when they called your 401k a 201k. And they were absolutely wrong. They marked the exact low on individual stocks such as Tesla, marked the exact low on the indices, and marked the exact low on Bitcoin. So keep tuning in here, and we'll go through the charts. Bitcoin, we've been weary potential ABC, but we've been saying, hey, look, higher low, bouncing off the moving average. We are holding the levels, and we are back into this bull flag. Now you want to attack this uptrend line here, and this is where we get our $132,000 to $134,000 Bitcoin price target for the bull flag. Good to see. Not out of the water yet because you're still in this trend zone, but it is nice that we got above the 200 moving average, and we are holding above it so far, so good. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart real quick as well. This is what we've been seeing, and wow, I did not look at this morning, so this was not staged, but this is the bear flag. So when you have a downtrend, and then you make a flag that is slowly making higher highs but higher lows, this thing breaks down over 70% of the time, and right now it is very close to breaking below this trend line, and well, that would lead you towards a 59 to 60% Bitcoin dominance, which means what? Ethereum is outperforming, or BNB, or Solana, or Pulse Chain. I did not see this yet, but that is a breakdown. It's a new low for Bitcoin dominance. This bear flag is going to find itself all over your newsfeed, but you heard it here first at Crypto Paradise. Coinbase, we talked about it yesterday, probably wanted to scoop some up at $2.95 up to $3.10, up 2% today. That's a good $15 a share since yesterday's live show. Ethereum, what do you know? Trying to break out of this triangle again. It's back up to resistance. If it breaks out, you are heading finally to our target of 42.35, but the measured move for this big consolidation would be up here at $4,800, which would make sense because I think the $5,000 mental barrier is going to be a big thing. That's the previous all-time high. That's a big round number. Well, hopefully we can attack that. You probably get some rejection and consolidation, and then we finally blue skies, all-time highs shortly after that. So good to see things are putting themselves together. Now we'll see how things play out. The other thing that is going to help Ethereum is SharpLink Gaming just sold some shares at $19.50 for $200 million, and they need to deploy that into Ethereum. They have not done so thus far. So another 200 million ETH buy is coming very soon. What you say?
Oh, electronic clap. The audience is really great on that. audience. Put your game up, bro. The audience appreciates your technical analysis there, Nick. But yeah, I think ETH to 4,000. I mean, that's the title of the show. ETH to 4,000. It is just a matter of time. And you showed the Bitcoin dominance chart. That's the one chart that I like when it goes down. When that's going down, that's a good thing for your altcoins. So root for that to go down. Everything else you root to go up. But yeah, I mean, this was an inevitability. When it happened, what the catalyst was, those were all unknowns. But at some point, we've been saying this to you guys, and we're not the only ones out there, but we've been in the space for a long, long time. The market moves in cycles, right? Nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever. Moment in time comes when the Bitcoin run takes a breather and money starts flowing down to ETH and altcoins. It's happened every other cycle. It's going to happen this cycle. So it wasn't as if, oh my God, all C is never going to happen. Now, does this mean every single one of your altcoins do it 10 times? No, that's not what we're saying. But there is going to be a moment in time when alts, particularly ETH and the majors, the good ones anyway, outperform Bitcoin. And I don't know if today is the start of it, right? I don't know if we can say that for a fact. Perhaps you could even argue that actually last month when ETH ran from 1,800 to 3,800 or whatever, that was the start of it. You could argue that. The point is, it is going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. You want to be prepared. You want to be locked in. You want to be positioned. You want to have held on to your bags, not cheated out of your strong plays, because yeah, this market's about to become fireworks. And I just think, look, we got 5 weeks until Powell cuts rates. We get closer and closer to that date, and assuming we don't get any wonky, unexpected sort of inflation numbers or job numbers in the interim period, assuming everything kind of stays the course here, low inflation, bad jobs, bad job report, he's going to cut rates. And the news, that drumbeat is going to start as we get closer and closer to that mid-December meeting date. So, again, the folks who were calling for the top or, it wasn't going to happen, or you just haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention if you think that this bull run was over when Donald Trump, the crypto president, and now his head of the SEC, Paul Atkins, they're out there basically doing everything they can to pump our backs.
Yeah, we've been talking about a couple things. People were like, "Oh, August is going to be slow. Oh, it's historically August is red more than it's green." Well, you're looking at the wrong data or you're analyzing it incorrectly. Every single August, the year after a Bitcoin halving in history, every single time has been green. And when it started off red on the dip, we came out here on the live show and told you that. Check my news feed on Twitter. I told you that. So you had an opportunity to buy that dip as well. Now, look, a lot of days left in August, but we'll see. But so far, history tells you that every single August, the year after the Bitcoin halving, ends up green, and you had a 2-day window in which it was red to get a discounted price on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Also, we've had this upside target up here for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We're breaking out to new highs for the move. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. New highs for the cycle right here, heading toward this line. Yesterday, we told you that a lot of people are probably watching this head and shoulders. We hope it is a head fake and doesn't happen. We're looking for higher. If that happened, of course, you had downside. Well, look what happened. Just left all those people behind. You know how many people were shorting Ethereum based off this chart? You know how many people were swapping Ethereum to Bitcoin looking for this drop down from a bearish head and shoulders? Well, right now, you just put in a new high, which invalidates that head and shoulders, and we'll see if Ethereum can continue its strength and outperformance of Bitcoin towards our target that we've been showing you here. So we've been leading favorites for Ethereum. We've been leading favorites for altcoins. We've been telling you that August has a very good chance of being green, and the fireworks start in Q4 and Q3 of 2025. Well, this is exactly what is playing out today, and you guys let a couple red days lull you to sleep, and now you're wake up today and you're like, well, shit, is there going to be another dip? Do I deploy the capital now? Oh, man, I should have just bought a couple days ago. You can't get lazy during boredom. During boredom is when you take a breather, you start thinking your plans, and you take action, because when things start moving, your emotions are going to be rampant, and you're going to be chasing different assets.
Well, I think what's happened is, we just went through a 6-month basically bearish market, right? Let's just call it what it was. Maybe not 6 months, but whenever, beginning of February, right, when the tariff news hit until, I don't know, a month or two ago, ETH had been getting killed. It hadn't gone anywhere. It was just going down, down, down. Right? I know there's a few moves up at times and stuff, but mostly we're in bear market. Alts were getting killed. So it's been a long period of bearishness. We've had 1 month of bullishness. It usually takes 3 months of bullishness for people to finally accept that it's a bull market and say, all right, I'm ready to deploy capital, like I'm all in. So I think it was a little bit of bear market PTSD, right? You had this wonderful run up, but it really only been a month of a good market. And so you saw some red days and you're thinking, oh shit, I don't know if we're out of the woods. I'm still kind of traumatized from what happened over the past, 6 months or whatever. Tariff news coming back, bad jobs report, unexpected job numbers, rearing their ugly heads. Although that's actually a good thing for the capital markets because Fed has to cut rates, but never mind. So people, a little bit of bear market PTSD. But hey, that's why you watch this show. You watch this show for that long-term view, right? To give you guys some confidence. For those who are looking to short the market during the bull run, if you're really good at what you do, you've made a lot of money doing leverage trading and doing shorts and stuff, okay, go ahead and do you. But I don't know. I mean, we're in a bull run. So to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what you're doing putting in these shorts. It's time to long the market, boys and girls. It's time to get long. We're going up, folks.
Yeah.
We're absolutely going up from here. And I want to have a bear on the show. I want to depose him and ask him some tough questions. Because man, I want to get what's inside their heads. Because to me, man, we're at the start of an explosive bull run here the second half of this year, and I just don't think people are ready.
Yeah, we see a lot of assets that we like flagging out here. PTGC is a major example of that. We've traded that one very well, and that is a proponent of Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain flagging out as well. It continues to outperform. So Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Pulse Chain is outperforming Ethereum. It's almost like we told you that was going to happen and to get your positions. It's almost like we told you yesterday in the live show that this was flagging out and it'll be great to see it break to the upside. Well, it just broke out. So does this lead to new all-time highs? I mean, it might be some more chop. It might take some time. But the next target that we've had on PLS based on an Adam and Eve formation is 7,000 to 7,200, which would be a nice 60% gainer from here. So what happens when PLS goes up another 60%? Where do you think Surf goes due to LP bonding? Where do you think PTGC goes due to LP bonding? Where do you think Vox or EMIT or any of the other Pulse Chain calls that we've made go due to LP bonding? Well, they go higher. They produce you passive income, and they're presenting you opportunity right now. So if you think Ethereum is going to 10,000, Pulse Chain is going to go much higher. Surf, PTGC, EMIT, Vox, or any other Pulse Chain assets that we call this bull market, because Pulse Chain assets are going to be called a lot because we see the opportunity. They're going to be going very much higher as well. So really good to see. People talking about bear market. Where's the bear market? Pulse Chain up 180% off the low. PTGC up 333% off the low, and Surf up 120% off the low. So gotta love what you see here. And we're just getting started here at Crypto Paradise. Hopefully we can keep putting gains in your wallet. And while you wait, a lot of the assets that we call produce passive yield where you can make money just by holding them as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not that complicated. Well, people, I don't know, Nick. Maybe this is a fake out. Maybe the bull run's over. No. It's not over. There's going to come a moment in time when buyers outnumber sellers by like 2 to 1. There's just more people wanting to buy than there are wanting to sell. Richard Hart did a great tweet about this. Sometimes I don't get his tweets, but sometimes I freaking love them. And the substance of this tweet was, guys, do you know what causes a bear market? You know what causes a bull market? It was a bear market. More sellers than buyers. That's basically what he said. And that's really all it comes down to. Everyone's wondering, like, how this happens, why it happens, how is it going to go up? There's going to come a time when there are more buyers than sellers. And assets have no choice but to go up. And then what happens is people start to get FOMO on top of it. And that's when you start to see these crazy 10x runs in, a matter of weeks. We lived through this. We lived through 2021. I was there at the end of 2017. That is when alt season goes bananas. And you could say, all right, things are different now, and there's so many assets on the blockchain, and there's Solana, and there's thousands of other chains, and 10,000 coins get launched today. Okay, that's all true. Most will never amount to anything and become more than like a $2,000 market cap and rug. So let's just forget those. And secondly, not everything is going to do it 10 times, but the solid plays that are undervalued, good token utility, good teams, good marketing, good narratives, right? Those will outperform and those will do your 10, your 50, 100 times. Are we there yet? Probably not. We're not quite there at that phase of alt season when everything runs like mad, but we're getting close, man. We're getting close. And I mean, I'm so damn bullish. Again, I want to have a bear on the show and just like check their heads for a little bit, like wondering why are you selling now, kind of thing. Oh, I'll never understand
and
it.
going back to kind of investment in America and tariffs and stuff, it looks like Apple is raising what they're investing in infrastructure here in the U.S. from $500 billion to $600 billion, onshoring development and building of iPhones and other assets that they produce, and then also general.
Shout out to Apple. Shout out to Tim Cook.
Breaking
Apparently,
news.
he presented Trump with like a gold-plated something or other. They had a meeting yesterday.
Also, breaking news: General Matter, a big uranium enrichment company, is bringing uranium enrichment back to the United States, starting at the site where the U.S. enrichment industry was born when we created our first nuke 75 years ago. So, General Matter bringing back its uranium enrichment back here. Obviously, uranium enrichment can lead to nukes, but also it produces nuclear energy, which is, according to Elon Musk, much safer than people realize and much more energy efficient and cost effective than any other energy source in the planet. So, interesting news. And what was more interesting about that is Brian Armstrong is the one who actually quote tweeted that. So, I don't know what Brian Armstrong thinks uranium enrichment is going to do. He usually only talks about crypto and Bitcoin, but maybe Bitcoin mining, who knows? But nonetheless, every day it seems like there's a new investor, a new company coming back, seeing the writing on the wall, and trying to make America great again. And all that impacts the citizens in the financial markets directly because the USD is the global reserve currency of the world. The citizens here get more job opportunities. Inflation continues to go down, and hopefully some of these investments can go towards helping offset the national debt that we have, and we can get that shit paid down.
Say what you will about his techniques. Say you will about his personality and his jokes and his demeanor and all that. I happen to find it pretty funny, actually. If you watch a Trump press conference, they're actually kind of hilarious. But his methods work. They freaking work. I mean, yeah, he strong-armed all these countries, you could argue. Maybe it was a little uncouth. Maybe it was, not as diplomatic as some may have liked. But he's getting shit done. I mean, the fact now Japan has to buy American cars. Europe has to buy like billions worth of American-made energy. Apple investing $100 billion additional money into the U.S., right? Say what you love the techniques. The results speak for themselves. And I just feel like everything is so politicized that people can't call a spade anymore. If you didn't like him because of X, Y, Z reason, his personality, history, I don't know, whatever, then you can't bring yourself to say, all right, I like this particular policy that he's put in place. And that to me is a massive mistake. If you're viewing the world from the lens of, I don't like this person or I don't like this particular thing, and therefore everything related to it I also don't like, you're missing out on a lot. You're going to miss a lot out on gains in the capital markets. You'll miss out on maybe professional opportunities. You'll miss out on all sorts of stuff if you're just viewing everything through such a partisan lens, or your preconceived biases are leading you to a particular conclusion. Again, say what you want about his personality, methods, this or that, the other. The results speak for themselves. This has been incredible. What an incredible run Trump has had. And we'll see, look, in 2 years from now, who knows where the economy is going to be, right? No one truly knows. I happen to think it's going to be in a much, much better place. But we'll see ultimately how it plays out. But you can't deny he's had a string of wins here that is just, I mean, I can't remember the last time an American president has had this many wins for a country in this short of a period of time.
Yeah, to be this active is pretty wild. Well, we look at Sharplink Gaming. They're the ones that say they still got to buy 200 million ETH here, and we gave it to you down here, sub $10, all live on air, up 142% in just a month. And this looks great. Yeah, this big parabolic run filled the gap. We came down. We held above the moving averages, and now they're buying even more Ethereum while Ethereum is green. It's reacting back to the upside. Target would be somewhere around $60 Before then, it retests back to 40 and then goes over $100. Sharplink Gaming SBT will be over $100 stock when Ethereum is all said and done this cycle. Bookmark it. BMNR, the Thomas Lee strategy, brought on Kathy Woods as well and some other investors. We gave that here live on air. $31, I believe, and we're up 36.6%. We waited through all this chop. They are the largest holder of Ethereum strategic reserve right now. Something like 800 million Ethereum, or $800 million worth of Ethereum. So I don't know what's going. 800,000. Sorry about that. 800,000 ETH. Their goal is 1 million or more Ethereum. Well on their way, leading the charge. And based on the MNAV, still greatly undervalued. This thing was going to be over $200 per share when Ethereum's all said and done this cycle. Look, MicroStrategy has proven that it is possible, and they're literally just following in the footsteps of MicroStrategy, what they did for Bitcoin, doing it for ETH. The difference is I think ETH has more upside from right here, right now versus Bitcoin, and ETH also produces yield, which means you can supercharge how fast you can accumulate and compound your Ethereum holdings, which should lead to explosive gains even quicker than MicroStrategy did it. And MicroStrategy did like 25 years of S&P 500 gains in the matter of a year. So I would expect similar results out of BMNR and SBET, as long as Ethereum goes to new all-time high, goes to 10,000, and maybe even goes to the $22,000 and $35 target that we talked about when Bitcoin goes to 244K by the end of this year.
Let's go. Let's go. And it is going to happen. I don't know if those gaudy numbers will be hit this cycle, but those numbers will be hit at some point. $1 million Bitcoin will be hit at some point. It will still be lower than the total market cap of gold. Even at $1 million Bitcoin, what will ETH be then? 100,000? We'll see. So you guys are still early, but yeah, we just got confirmation. I just did a little Google search. Trump is, in fact, going to be signing this executive order allowing Americans to invest through their 401k into alternative assets like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, etc. So I will share my screen. Where's the thing here? Just want to prove to you guys that it's real. It is being reported now on mainstream media, CNBC. This happens to be Fortune.com. But this is going to be happening. Thank you, Trump, once again, pumping our bags. Say what you want about everything else, but this guy is making these markets explode. And if you're an investor, you should be very, very, very happy. I also think this is great. I mean, just setting aside the crypto element of it, because it's not just about crypto. It's about all kind of alternative investments. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Why should it be that only, accredited investors or private equity investors who, have $100 million or whatever, why should only they be allowed to get in these private markets? You can't justify it. It's unjustifiable. So this was such a long time coming. The Dems never would have done this. The nanny state Democrats never would have allowed you to invest your 401k into crypto alternative assets. And will some people get burned? Sure, they will. Some people do get burned investing. Some people get scammed. Some people get fucked over in the markets. No doubt about it. I'm not just trying to sugarcoat it. But if I can go down to the corner store and dump $1 million into lottery tickets, I should sure be able to invest into a private equity deal.
Yeah, and then that coupled with the money printer go burr shirt here, that's happening. That's probably going to start in September. But make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you hit the retweet, if you're on YouTube and leave a comment, not only are you entered to win $10 giveaway on a daily live show, but also if we get enough retweets and comments, I think we're going to break out above this 3,900 level and head towards 4,000. So, your bags are, your fate is in your hand. Hit that retweet, hit that comment, hit that like, and our bullish TA will be out there for the masses to see, and they'll be smashing that buy button and send us above 4,000.
Certainly, if you're a surf investor, you should be fully engaged. You should be commenting on every post. You should be retweeting every post. And shout out to everyone in the surf community who has been doing that. We love you guys. But if you are, we have about, 850 token holders. If you're holding a token, and by the way, this applies to not just surf, any of your assets, get engaged, get involved, help out in some way. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about crypto. Is it allows the average Joe to engage and help and be involved in a way that would never be possible in the traditional financial markets. I cannot go on Amazon's Twitter and bull post and make a difference. But if you go on our Twitter, Crypto Paradise, or your favorite meme or whatever, and you start to raid and comment and like and retweet and share with your friends, you can make a difference. I'll also add too, I mean, we're one of the only coins out there, to my knowledge, where the DAO members, those holding 200,000 or more surf, you guys have many benefits. One of them is if you refer a friend who also joins the DAO, you'll get a 10% bonus airdrop of surf sent straight to your wallet. Ask Jordan. There's a bunch of guys who have taken advantage of this, making a lot of money. Free surf, basically just for telling their friends to get involved and get into an undervalued play on an undervalued chain. So win-win across the board for everybody. But, crypto is one of those beautiful places where everyone can get involved. Everyone can make a difference. Get out there, like, retweet, comment. It helps us. It helps you. Let's win together.
Yeah, I think that's the news for the day. We've gone over the charts, and I think we need to do other meetings and maybe some short-form content and make some trades. But I don't know what else you really want to talk about. This one might be short, sweet. Things are basing and flagging to hopefully go to the upside. If you get a couple $100 more move in Ethereum, the breakout is underway, and upside targets are above 4,000 on ETH. Upside targets are around 7,000 on PLS. Upside targets are much higher on PTGC and Surf. And of course, that will help drive BNB higher, which helps our meme coins like Floki. That'll help drive Solana prices higher, which helps Fuck 9 to 5, Dose, and others, Trebly. The list goes on. So that's what we want to see. We're on the cusp of it. We had that little bit of dopamine hit late last week. It was short-lived with the little downside in the markets, but man, it's wild to see. Again, you would think there'd be some kind of stall on these traditional markets, but every 2% dip is bought right up and continues to go to new all-time highs on all three indexes, the Dow Jones, S&P, the NASDAQ. Everywhere you look, green candles, and that's part of the just correlation because everything is pegged and priced in the dollar. And dollar value goes down and to the right. We've been saying this since we got in Bitcoin in 2016, 2017, 2018. Over time, everything goes higher because even though the dollar is the global reserve currency, the best performing fiat in history, fiat has a history of going down and to the right in spending power with the target of losing 2% every single year. So that means other good assets go up in dollar value just by the nature of being based in the fiat currency.
That is it. That's it in a nutshell, man. I mean, that's why you got to be investing in these capital markets. For those holding cash or I'm scared or whatever, you should be scared of holding cash. You're losing money every year. You have to be invested. You really have to. And I'm not saying you have to get into crypto and Bitcoin, although I think you should, because it's going to outperform most of other things. It should be probably a part of a diversified portfolio if, we're giving, just being perfectly honest. But you got to be investing in capital markets. You got to be investing in stuff. You can't just be holding cash. So, look, you can start with $100 a week. Start with $500 a month. Start with whatever you got. Like, this notion, a lot of people, I think, well, Crypto Amaru, I mean, yes, I know I should be invested, but I don't have the money. Oh, yeah? What about that Amazon package I just saw you bought on the porch? You need that junk from China? Probably not. Probably not. What about that dinner you went to? Could you scale back? Could you ate at home instead? Right? Did you need to go on that trip and spend, $5,000 in a week? A lot of people do that shit. Oh, did you need to go to Disneyland? You need to take all your kids to Disney and spend $10,000. Disney's very expensive, by the way. Don't go to fucking Disney. What a scam. My point is this. Everybody has, for the most part, if you're a working, able-bodied person with a decent job, you have enough money to invest in something. So anyone out there questioning, oh, I don't have enough, this and that, you got to get invested. You got to just start with something. $500 a month, $1,000, $100. I don't care, but you got to be in these markets, and your future self is going to thank you because in 20 years you're going to be sitting on a pile of money that you otherwise would not have had.
Yeah, and a prime example of that is Chuck Boris. I actually know him in real life. He's one of my best friend's little brother. He started with, in the bear market a couple of years ago, $5 per week. Auto investing into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zen, and some other Coinbase assets. $5 a week. That's it. And now he's taking advantage of trades that we're giving in Crypto Paradise, trades we're giving in Learn Crypto. He has over 200,000 surf. He's in the DAO group. So you just have to start somewhere. He was buying $5 a week in the bear market. Well, now Bitcoin's done, the 10x. Ethereum's done the 3, 4, 5x. And now he has capital to play around with these other altcoins that have done very well. So that's where you start. That's a real life story. And, $5 a week. Yes, you're not getting rich overnight. It took him 2 years of the bear market and now this year of the bull market. But a couple trades, couple good pre-sales, couple good investments, and of course price appreciation of the core assets has led him to a bag that's big enough to actually play around and is going to be life-changing for him moving forward. And talk about life-changing.
I was DMing Chuck the other day. He won $1,000 in Tortoise tokens, by the way, too. So, you set aside the investing. If you're in crypto, if you're following Crypto Paradise, we're giving out money left, right, and center, too. So, I mean, you can make a lot of money. Also, these giveaways, the free money that we're showering on people. Not to say you're guaranteed to win it, but I mean, Chuck won $1,000, which hopefully he puts back into surf or something else that we like. But plenty of ways to win. Shout out to Chuck, and I think he's also coming on the retreat, by the way.
Yeah, that would be really fun. The retreat later this year, so you need to be a surf token holder to get involved with that. So 200,000 surf gets you in the DAO, gets you access to be able to participate in the retreat at the end of the year. And also being a surf token holder means you support Pulse Chain and Pulse Chain Blue chip assets, because you can see here, more Surf Inc. liquidity was just added to the liquidity pair. This was just posted. That means that there was Surf bought off the open market, Inc. bought off the open market, paired together, added the liquidity to make the liquidity pools thicker for arbitrage trader, for automatic AMM bots, which drive volume, which drive more fees, and for buyers and sellers of the token in the future. So really good to see. I think you're going to see some more announcements. As you know, we bought $2,500 worth of Surf live on air yesterday, and that is being deployed into these liquidity pools. INC, PHEX, and what was the other one? PDI.
PDI.
Yeah. So Hex and INC are Richard Hart tickers, and then PDI is they have a really cult-like community. What if it does peg to $1? It does produce a lot of volume, so we're fattening up the PDI bag as well. So that's what we're doing here. We're buying and burning tokens. We're buying Surf and buying blue chips to add to LPs. We're being active. We're self-promoting. And what do you know? The No Expectation wallet has over $10,000. Maybe we're trying to plan some kind of free, paid, collaborative partnership marketing plan. That's what the next big push from Surf needs to be, is a big marketing campaign. And hopefully you can see the Crypto Paradise brand and the Surf Token brand on more of your favorite Pulse chain, more of your favorite crypto sites, KOLs, influencers, and really spread that awareness to get that price momentum going up and to the right. Because the thing is, when price momentum, volume, and new holders comes in, the flywheel keeps going. Buys and burns automatically happen. More LP is added, more DAO funds are added, and that's how this thing is sustainable and will be 100 million market cap or higher by the end of this bull cycle.
Shout out to all you Surf holders, you DAO members. You guys are awesome. We're going to keep working our butts off to grow this thing. Nick's absolutely right. Some more marketing on the horizon. In fact, we're interviewing a big influencer later today. That video should be out, in a few days from now. So the foot is on the gas pedal. We are not slowing down. We're really accelerating. So very exciting, future for Surf here. By the way, the burn tracker and the burn D app is finished. I just tested it last night. Shared a little sneak peek with the DAO. But what that's going to allow you to do is connect your wallet, see all the stats related to your holdings, how much Surf you've earned over time, when your next Surf payout is going to be from the reflection rewards, how much Surf has been burned, what that means for your bag, how much liquidity has been added over time since the beginning until now. And then the other feature of it, which I absolutely love, is the burn button. It allows you, with the click of a button, to burn as much Surf as you want. Now, are we saying that you guys should burn your hard-earned money and burn your Surf tokens? No, I'm not saying that unless you really want to. But it's something that we are going to do. It's something that we're going to do with the yield that we're generating from all the DeFi partnerships we have within Emit and Vox, and there's another one we're about to announce too, RhinoFi. We're generating, I don't know, a couple $100 a week probably in yield, maybe more. That's all going to go to buying Surf and just straight burning it with this burn button. So this is all coming. Hopefully tomorrow should be all fully deployed on the website. Certainly within the next couple days here. So, yeah, man, foot on the gas pedal. We're rocking and rolling. Bull market's here. And for anyone looking to sell your ETH, your Bitcoin right now, have your goddamn head checked. Watch this live stream. Send the live stream to the bears. And then I want to hear from them why they're still bearish. Our boy Hex says, let's go. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're bullish. I hope your finger, I should say, is not on that sell button. Because in 3 months from now, 6 months, end of this year, if you sold ETH right now, oh man, you're gonna feel real sad. End of this year, real sad. So don't be that guy. Hold on, have some conviction. Think long term. Understand where Trump is taking this market. Understand where the Powell has to cut rates. Understand that we are just on the beginning of this Ethereum strategic reserve train. Man, I couldn't be more bullish. Fucking hell.
And I mean, Hex has got to be hyped right now. He literally changed his name to Hex to shill his own bag. So that means he's probably long Hex and Pulse Chain assets. They're all green. I just showed the charts since the all-time lows. They're up between 137% to 350% each. He tunes into this, so he probably owns Surf. Surf launched at 11K market cap. Now it's at 1.6 million market cap with 2.3% of the supply burned already before this dashboard is even live. I mean, he's got to be killing it. Shout out to Hex for always tuning in here. That is good to see. We see a couple commenters on Twitter as well. Martin Max King is in the building. Shout out to you. Martin Max King has won giveaways as well. I know he owns a lot of the assets we talk about, so he's got to be bullish because he's in the green on a bunch of his investments as well. So shout out to those who tune in every day. And don't be afraid to chat, guys. Throw in the comment sections. We're on YouTube. We see those live. Twitter, we kind of see after the fact. So we're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. And we're trying to figure out how to get live on TikTok as well. Just keep expanding the brand, expanding the message, and trying to get people along for financial freedom and life-changing gains.
Let's make some money, boys and girls. It's going to be a hell of a bull run. And until next time, y'all, we'll see you on the beach.